Hello everybody, my name is Codline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this one, it's going to be another video, but not usually what I usually do. It's going to be my thoughts on the July 2021 Forbidden and Limited list. So the Forbidden and Limited list got released yesterday morning. I didn't have a reaction up because, well, I was at work when it got released, and I decided just to look at it when I was at work. So instead of doing some sort of reaction, I'm actually just going to give my thoughts on what I think about each card that got hit on the list or was taken off in some cases. So, yeah, so there's just going to be that. So I'm going to give you the card that got banned, and then my reaction, initial reaction when I did see the card, and then what my opinion on it as well. So without further ado, before we even get into it, usually I would cover the bans and then limits and then the unlimits, but we're going to do it differently in today's episode. Why is that? Because I know everyone's here to see what my opinion on one card is, and without further ado, let's just get straight to that card, shall we? It is Symbol of Heritage. Of course, this is what everyone wanted me to talk about, right? Right? There's no other card, right? What card are you guys talking about? No. It's Symbol of Heritage, right? I know, of course. I know. We'll get to that card. Just give me 1 second. I do want a couple Symbol of Heritage first, because this card was released from... it was in the limited section and then moved to the unlimited section. My initial reaction was, that's going to do nothing, and my opinion still stands. I think it's still going to do absolutely nothing. I think this was limited for, like, FTK reasons with, like, Cannon Soldier and stuff like that, but if you really do think about it now, it's like a really bad Monster Reborn. Why would you play this card when you can just play Monster Reborn, to be honest with you? If you don't know what the effect is, it's you can only activate this card. So it basically is a Monster Reborn. It's like a premature burial, but you have to have 3 of the same monster cards in the graveyard to do it. So let's say you're trying to summon out like Rocket Tracer or something like that. You would have to have 3 Rocket Tracer for it to special summon from the graveyard. Now, the problem, yeah, like I said, this was limited thanks to like FTK regions and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's not really going to cause a problem. There's a lot of stuff on the ban and limited section they could probably take off, but this is the only one that they decided to unlimit for some reason. There's a lot more cards they can do, but this was the one card. And again, it's not going to do anything of note. But now, let's get to the card that everyone wants me to talk about. And that card is, of course, Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Oh, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Now, if you don't know what Engage does, it's basically if you control no main monsters in your main monster zones, you can search 1 Sky Striker card, and then if you have 3 spells in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card then afterwards. Now, holy shit, that is a broken-ass card, and I don't know why they put this at 1. When I initially saw it, it came back to 1. I really lost my shit. I was like, why is this card back at 1? There is no way they put this card back to 1. Out of all the cards you could have taken off the ban list, you decided to take Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Probably was a card that deserved to be on the ban list over things like Orcust Heartpourer and, Heavy Fettle's Electromite, but we'll get into my opinions on that in just 1 second. But yeah, so initially I was like, man, that was the dumbest move. But then, now when, me thinking about it and stuff like that, I knew they had to take off something that they banned in the January 2020 ban list. Salomon Great Mirage Delio was, of course, one of them, and the most obvious one, which we'll cover in just 1 second. And I knew it had to be another one as well. A lot of people were predicting Orcust Heartpourer. I did as well, but it had to be something that would change the game. I originally thought it was Colossus, and a lot of people gave me shit for that. But now it's Engage. Engage. Man, oh man, oh man. If you don't know why Engage is a problem, it's not once per turn, and it can be re-added back with one of the Sky Striker Link monsters, Sky Striker Kagari, which is a Link 1 monster that can add Engage back to hand. So you can use Engage multiple times a turn. So it's basically 2 Rotas, and you get the Pot of Greed effect, which is really, really dumb, and why Engage was banned in the first place. And now they put it back to 1 with like Widowmaker at 3 and stuff like that. Of course, Sky Striker will probably now see play because of how ridiculous Engage is. And now, I don't know if it's going to be, as good as, Zoo Tribe Engage. It's still a control deck, You can play the Floodgates, things like there can only be 1, and stuff like that. But it's just really going to be really interesting to watch what this deck can do. Because remember, Sky Strikers, they've been basically, Engage was banned, but everything else was in their deck. Nothing has changed about that. Just Engage is now at 1. And now people are overhyping the Sky Strikers and stuff like that. When Sky Strikers existed before, just without Engage, and it did nothing. Now, Engage is a very good card, but would it shoot it to tier 1? Probably. Probably, most likely, and I will regret that. But, it's going to be really interesting to see what this card can do. I don't know why they put it back to 1. But, hey, let's see what it can do, right? Please just... Man, oh man, that's going to be really, really dumb. But let's get into the rest of the cards. I should stop talking about Engage, shall we? Now getting on to the banned cards. We're going to start this off now. Starting off with Guard Dragon LP, which literally everyone in their mother saw coming. I'm sorry. Everyone saw this card getting banned in this. And it makes sense. It's a Link 1 monster that can special summon from the deck, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, it does have a restriction where you need 2 Link points pointing to the same zone for it to special summon the monster from the extra deck. But that's ridiculously easy, especially in Dragon Link. LP is just really, really ridiculous. They probably should have banned this back in December when Dragon Link was the top deck then, but they didn't. And then LP is just a ridiculous ass card. I don't know why it didn't get on the ban list sooner than it did. But now, Dragon Link was again the top deck in the meta. It finally forced Konami to think, okay, yes, LP finally needs to get banned. Now, again, it's no longer the best deck. It wasn't even the best deck even when LP was with the deck. Zoo Tribegage gets that distinction. But, LP is still a ridiculous card. Be a Link 1 monster that can special summon a dragon from the deck is absolutely ridiculous. No shit, this card got banned. Absolutely ridiculous. Link 1 that can special summon from the extra deck, that's just the obvious thing that they need banned in the deck. And they finally did it. So I'm happy to see it on the ban list. Everyone saw it coming, yes. But I'm happy to see it on the ban list. And then the next surprising one was Zodiac Dryden. Wow. Dryden got banned. Now, this isn't that surprising because the OCG did it in their format as well with Dryden getting banned. Now, my initial reaction was, why? What the hell is Dryden doing right now? Dryden is not the problem card. Now, I understand Konami likes to ban cards that aren't the problem cards to keep the problem cards for more formats than it should be so they can sell products. But man, Dryden was not the problem here. You know what the problem card was? It was Zeus. Zeus was the problem, and the Zodiac engine was able to make 6 material Zeuses, and that's why it was so ridiculous. Again, you can somewhat blame the Zodiacs because the Zodiacs put 6 materials on Zeus, but you can also blame Zeus for not being a once per turn, send everything to the fucking graveyard kind of thing. That's the main problem card, and Dryden shouldn't be banned. I see why they banned it. Now you can't do 6 material Zeus, you can only do a 4 material Zeus. 4 material Zeus is still pretty fucking good. I'm sorry to say. Even without Dryden, a small Zodiac engine can be played in a deck if you don't end up like normal summoning or something like that. Because you can just get out Zeus pretty good with 4 materials because it's still pretty ridiculous. Zeus was absolutely the problem card. Now, I didn't see them banning it or limiting it in this list because why would they? It's selling Phantom Rage and probably is going to be selling the tins if it ends up getting reprinted in the tins. But man, Dryden did not need to get banned here. Like, that's really, really surprising. Some people saw Tenki maybe getting limited because of it as well. But, like, Dryden, like, this time it was not Dryden's fault that it got banned. It was Zeus's fault that Dryden got banned. And so Dryden is back on the ban list. It's not the problem card, but, that's my opinion on that. Should it be on the ban list? Probably not, but I can understand why, because you want to stop the Zeus engine. But then again, the Zeus engine is your main problem, so I just don't understand it. Zeus is the problem card, but I understand they don't want to hit that, so they hit Dryden. But, this is still, Zodiac is still probably going to get played just to get that 4 material Zeus, because Zeus is still just pretty ridiculous. So yeah, that is my opinion on that. Now going to the limited section of the ban list. They only banned 2 cards this time around, which is actually pretty short. Limited section now starts with Striker Dragon. I think officially with LP ban and Striker Dragon at 1, that Dragon Link is no longer, playable. I don't know. Maybe I'll be proven wrong in this format, but like 1 Striker Dragon and no LP, like that doesn't seem that good anymore. The reason why Striker Dragon was limited because Dragon Link was able just to keep spamming Striker Dragon. and stuff like that. So they ended up limiting it, which was actually very good. I think Striker Dragon was more of a problem card than LP was, and which is surprising to say because LP, especially someone from deck. But Striker Dragon was just able to get you into those combos because this required any level 4 Dragon monster being able to search the boot sector launch and stuff like that just to get into combos and stuff like that. And this was at 3, and people would play it at 3 because, they would go into multiple Striker Dragons and then go into go into LPs and stuff like that using their link zones and stuff like that. So I can see why they definitely limited the card. It's very good. Link 1s are just absolutely broken in this in Yu-Gi-Oh! And LP and Striker Dragon proves why those Link 1s, and they have to be very careful when they print Link 1s because Link 1s are very, very fucking powerful. So yeah, does Dragon Link still exist after this? Maybe. I don't know. Striker Dragon in LP is really big hits to Dragon Link. But maybe they can survive. Maybe not, at tier 1. But, they have... Dragon is the most supported deck, or the most supported archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe they can exist at, tier 2, or something like that. Of course, the deck is not going to be as powerful as it used to be, but I can still see this deck being somewhere in competitive play. So there is my opinion, not only on Striker Dragon, but in Dragon Link in general. Next thing up was Miscellaneous Source, and we all saw a Dino hit coming. We just didn't know if it was going to be Miscellaneous Source or Fossil Dig, or hell, maybe both, and maybe even Soul Eating Raptor. But this time it is Miscellaneous Source, and yeah, it makes sense why Misc is limited to 1 now. When they originally limited this card, Archosaur didn't exist. They just limited it because of how powerful that top effect of unaffecting your board is. And that effect is still powerful, and now you get to banish itself to summon an Archosaur from deck, which is absolutely ridiculous as well. The Scrap Raptor combos are fucking ridiculous in Dinos as well. This definitely needed to get hit somehow on the ban list thanks to those Scrap Raptor being released in Lightning Overdrive. But Miscellaneous Source takes the hit, and, well, a lot of people predicted that. I mean, Fossil Dig 2 is a problem, but, Miscellaneous Source having only 1 compared to 3 is going to be a problem, because now you only have 1 turn for that Miscellaneous Source to be unaffected by during the main phase and stuff, and that's usually when you want to combo off and stuff like that. For later turns, you won't no longer have the Miscellaneous Source in your possession. Obvious hit, no matter, yeah, this card is absolutely ridiculous. Unaffected, it makes their dinos unaffected by card effects. No shit, this card was going to get limited. Now, it's still going to be a powerful deck, dinos. Yes, I still think dinos are going to see play. Thanks to that Scrap Raptor, it's still pretty ridiculous. They only need 1 Miscellaneous Source to go into their combos and stuff like that. They're just going to need either Fossil Dig or Soul Eating Raptor and now search Miscellaneous Source. Now, the better hit was probably Baby, because Baby is a very crucial card to the deck. But then again, I think if you limit Baby, that would absolutely kill the deck as well. So I can see why they didn't go for that hit, because that would just absolutely kill the dinosaurs. Miscellaneous makes sense here. It made sense when I reacted to it, and it makes sense now. Yeah, Miscellaneous Source to 1. I'm happy to see that. Next thing up is Salamangreat Mirage Stallion back to 1. It took him long enough, didn't it? It took him fucking long enough. Holy shit! This card could probably come back either a format or 2 ago. It took him long enough, but it is finally back. Your Salamangreat players, you now have Mirage Stallion at your disposal. Does it make Salamangreat tier 1 again? I don't think so. No, not at all. I don't think that. But, it's still pretty good for the Salamangreat engine, because now Mirage Stallion can search out your Gazelle and stuff like that. It's going to be a pretty good rogue to tier 2 deck, maybe. But, it's not going to be the tier 1 deck. It's not going to compete with, Zoo Tribe Age and stuff like that. It's still a very good card, though. A very good support card for the Salamangreat players. There's your limited card. Have fun with it. I still think Salamangreat's still going to do nothing. But there's your limited card, and maybe, just maybe, in the future we'll see, either Circle or Gazelle going back to 3. Maybe I'm stretching a little bit on that one, but, Mirage Stallion finally back. Thank God. And then the last limited card they put off the ban list is Perform a Pal Skull Cobrat Joker. Now, this is a very good support card for Pendulums. It's not Electromite, but, it's still a very good support card for those Pendulum decks, specifically for the Magician Pendulums, the Odd Eyes, or the Performance Pal decks. Now, Performance Pal probably not, but you know, you still have your Magician deck, and the Magician deck are slowly coming back, especially with the semi-limited they did. Now, this is hard for me to react to because I really don't play Pendulum that much. I don't know if this is absolutely just a ridiculous thing they actually put to 1, or it's like it won't do anything. Now, I still think it's going to do something. Will it shoot Pendulum to tier 1 again? I don't think so. I think they're still going to need to take off a lot of their cards off the ban list and actually, I don't know, put out good support for them. You know, maybe take off Heavy Metal Foe's Electromite. Now, yeah, Skull Cobrat Joker is a very good card just to be able to search and stuff like that. Yeah, no shit, this card is very good for Pendulums. Limited to 1. We'll see what it does. I don't think it'll shoot Pendulums up to anywhere, but, you know, we'll see what it does. So that is my opinion. And then the last card we got to cover is Double Iris Magician, moving from the limited section to the semi-limited section. Now, my initial reaction when I saw this was, why don't you just move it to 3? It's doing nothing at 1. It's probably not going to do anything at 2. Just move it to 3. Who cares? Now, I can see maybe why they put it to 2 instead of 3, because they did take off Joker from the ban list to the limited section. So maybe they wanted just to see it in the semi-limited section just to see what it does before they move it to unlimited. I don't think it's going to really do anything. It's a very good card for the Dark Magician decks. Or, yeah, the Magician Pendulum decks. But, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's really going to shoot them back up and stuff, you know. You still need your Electromite and stuff like that. You still need, you know, yeah, Electromite is still just very important to that deck. Semi-limited, it could probably come back to 3, but they're putting it at 2 just so they don't overdo it, and at 3 it does amazing. They want to put it at 2 just to see if it does anything at 2. I don't think so. It wasn't doing anything at 1. It's not going to do anything at 2, and it probably won't do anything at 3. The semi-limited section, to me, can be eliminated. I think you could put you know, Double Iris to 3, and then you can probably put Mally to 3 as well. I know a lot of people are scared for that, but I think you can probably put Mally to 3 and just eliminate the semi-limited section. So yeah, so that's it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. This was just me kind of just rambling on my opinions on what the deck, or just how the Forbidden list went. There was really no, like, you know, this was just me just rambling off and stuff like that. So if I just get distracted and stuff like that in the video, that's probably why, because I was just, you know, rambling and stuff like that. So yeah, I wasn't able to react to the ban list because I was at work, but, you know, I am able to go and give you my opinion on what the Forbidden list is. It's going to be very interesting. I think Zoo Tribegage is going to be, or Tribegage at least, is still going to be the top deck of the format. I understand Dryden is kind of a hit to Zoo Tribegage as well, but then again, Tribegage can be that by themselves and be perfectly fine without the Zoos, because they're really only using the Zodiac engine for Zeus, and that's about it. So yeah, there's only that. So I think Tribegage will still be the top. Drytron's got no hit. Again, I don't think you need to hit them because they're a good deck, but, you know, they have a hard time going second and stuff like that. And then there's really no other deck really thinking that they didn't hit, like Dinosaurs. They hit Dragon Link and stuff like that. Engage to 1, that's going to be very interesting to watch. You know, the YCS is coming up, and I do plan to participate with that with my little Zombie Eldritch deck I have here. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch for that event to see if Sky Strikers do anything and stuff like that. This is going to be a very interesting format to watch, and I hope Engage doesn't just take over the format. But that is my opinions. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.